I've been getting a lot of questions regarding what citizenships and residences I've been pursuing since becoming Saint Lucian, so I figured I'd make a video about it. So, if I'm being honest with you, I've pursued absolutely no other citizenships or residence since I became Saint Lucian. This might seem mind-boggling to you as, well, I'm someone who talks about second citizenships, residences, and just living abroad generally, so how come I haven't went and pursued a second residence or another citizenship? But allow me to explain. It's actually not that complicated. You see, I don't really need a second residence or citizenship, like it's not urgent to me because, well, the burden I was trying to escape, being a US citizen and being the property of the US government, well, that was lifted when I gave up my citizenship. It was lifted when I became Saint Lucian and gave up my US citizenship. At that point, all of the worry and the bala was kind of lifted when I renounced a few years ago. So originally I had this plan to become a Turkish citizen and go through their CBI program afterwards, after giving up my US citizenship and becoming Saint Lucian. However, and this was to overall balance the visa-free access and give me a plan B option, as well as I quite like Turkey, and overall the program terms were very good at that point. However, shortly after giving up my citizenship and becoming Saint Lucian, Turkey decided to raise the program fees from $250,000 invested in real estate to $400,000, which was just going to be quite a big chunk of my net worth and something I wasn't quite comfortable doing just right away. So I put it off a while. And as I lived as a Saint Lucian the last 2 years, only having a Saint Lucian passport, I came to really realize and understand that the visa-free access and all of that isn't actually that important to me. And I'm quite comfortable just having one passport, just having a Saint Lucian passport and traveling on it. I'm not afraid of the Saint Lucian government. I'm not concerned at what it's doing, the legislation that's going on, or any of that, like I was with the US government. I mean, of course, some extra visa-free access and a plan B wouldn't hurt, but what I'm trying to say is it's not a pressing matter to me anymore to get a second citizenship and a plan B, because the visa-free access is very important, as I'm about to explain, and well, I'm just not afraid and worried about what the Saint Lucian government is doing. I don't feel like they're property, more like representative. So this might sound insane to you, but just hold on with me, let me explain. With the visa-free access, I've traveled the world the last 5 years. I visited South America, I visited North America, I visited basically everywhere but Antarctica, and much of Africa, like sub-Saharan Africa. I didn't go there. But I visited all over the world otherwise. I did all this primarily as a US citizen, but a little bit as a Saint Lucian citizen as well. This was over the last 5 years or so. So I already kind of saw much of the world. I already, in the entire time I was traveling to new countries, I only really stayed a few months to half a year at most in any one country in one session before visiting another country, with one exception being Thailand, which I have stayed in over a year consecutively. And basically, I've come to realize not only do I prefer a certain part of the world more than other parts, but I don't actually like traveling all that much. And that might sound insane to you. Again, I'm saying this a lot, but it might sound insane to you. What do you mean you don't like traveling? Everyone likes traveling. But this is something I've come to hear from a lot of people in my position who have traveled for many years and have the opportunity to work from everywhere. The first year or two traveling is full of mystery and novelty, but after a couple years, that mystery goes away and a beach just becomes another beach. After you've seen a few dozen of them, especially once you've seen 100 of them, you stop really caring the differences between beaches. Most beaches, if you're going to a decent place in a decent country and it's meant for people to go to that beach, it's just another beach. And then a lot of the like novelty just becomes difficulty and hassle. Like, instead of it being really curious and interesting how things work in a new place, once you've already been there many times, or once you've already traveled a lot and you just want to like be productive, have good relationships with people, have like fun activities and hobbies, the like novelties of certain places instead of being interesting, they just become difficulties that annoy you. And yeah, that's just, eventually you want a place you can call home, essentially. And yeah, I'm at that point now. So essentially you hit a point where you just want a place to call home and feel like it's home. I hit that point about 1 to 2 years ago. I'd say probably when I was in Brazil. I hit that point because it's just dealing with all the restrictions that was going on in that time, 2021 or so, and just dealing with it all that last year, traveling during that whole time just really took it out of me. And a lot of the, like I was saying, the novelty of certain countries became difficulties and hassle. It was just impossible to find certain things that I considered so basic and so necessary that it bugged me. And once I've hit that point, I kind of decided I needed to find a home base somewhere. I wasn't quite sure where that would be, and really I was just focused on the goal of getting rid of my US citizenship at that point. So once I achieved that goal, I set my eyes on, okay, where am I going to call home base? Where did I like in the world? Now that I've basically been to the whole world, but South or Sub-Saharan Africa and like Northern Europe, like Scandinavia. So where did I like the best? Well, it was easily Thailand, especially up here in Chiang Mai. Like, it was just the absolute best. So that's why I decided a year and a half ago or so that I'd come over here, get a long-term visa, the education visa, doing Muay Thai training. And yeah, so I decided to kind of set up a home base over here. Since then, as you do when you live somewhere and really try to have a home base, you become entangled in the area. You get to know a lot of people. You really set up your life and lifestyle around it. So most of the close friends I have either enjoy visiting here or are from here, local Thai people or expats who came and moved here, started a business, whatever it might be. So once you get entangled in an area, you kind of, it even more discourages you from leaving the general area. So like now when I think of, like, I loved Brazil. Like when I was over there, I loved living there. It was great, especially Rio. It has beach, it has mountain, it has good food, it has everything. But it's so far away, and I already have most of these things in Asia and in Thailand. So why would I take a 15-hour flight, pay $1,000, $2,000 at least to fly over there and just deal with all the hassle of having a completely different language, a lot of the annoyances in Brazil, like a lot of the Airbnbs are just simply not up to par, and the hotel standards just sometimes aren't there unless you're really staying at a high-end property. Dealing with all the violence and stuff that's going on over there and always has and always probably will. Like, once you get entrenched in an area and really set up a home base, it discourages you from going out. So with the motivation gone to really leave the region, this goes back to what I was saying before. This is why I was explaining it all. So why do I really need this extra visa-free access? Why do I really need a Plan B passport? And don't get me wrong, again, visa-free access is great. Having extra visa-free access would be nice, but is it really worth getting a second citizenship or going and getting some residence permits that will lead to citizenship just to get visa-free access? Like, in the 2 years or so since I became Saint Lucian, oh yeah, it's been almost exactly 2 years since I became Saint Lucian now. I've applied for 2 visas. That's it. Just 2. And one was for Thailand, one was for Armenia. Armenia was, 3 visas. One was for Thailand, one was for Armenia, and one was for India. The India visa was an e-visa. Just submit your documents, just a digital visa form, I think a photograph, and your plane ticket, and bam, pay them some money, you get your visa. Same with Armenia. And I only went to Armenia to give up my citizenship, although it was a good country to visit as well. And then Thailand, that's the only one I had to actually do a visa appointment for. So do I really need visa-free access? It doesn't seem like I'm really using visa, it doesn't seem like I'm really lacking any countries I visit in terms of visa-free access. So all of this begs the question to me, what is the point in me actually getting a second residence or citizenship? Or a second residence that leads to citizenship or citizenship? Obviously, it would be a nice plan B in case something happens in Asia, World War III kicks off, some conflict in the South China Sea, something like this, then okay, yeah, sure. Sure, it'd be nice to have a plan B passport, all of that. But that wouldn't really affect the Saint Lucian passport. And I mean, you can throw a little bit of capital, a little bit of money at a problem and fix it. Like if something happened in Asia, I could just pack my bag, take a flight out, or take a bus out, whatever it might be, ship out, whatever, and get out of here. And like it might cost me some money, but that's fine. So do I really need a plan B, or would a second citizenship or residence really help me in a big way? And maybe make the process easier, but this is a what if scenario, and I don't believe you should structure a lot of your life off what if scenarios. Unless it's a real concern for you and it really takes up your headspace, you don't really need to concern yourself with it. So to be clear with that though, a plan B would be nice if I was concerned about like the citizenship I have in the government. Like if I was concerned with the Saint Lucian government, but I'm not. Like if I had a German passport or an Australian passport, yeah, I'd be concerned. I'd want to get another second residence or a citizenship or something like this, because I'd be concerned we'd be instituting a global tax relatively soon, or like a same sort of scheme as the US does, where even if you don't live there, they want tax from you. But I'm not really concerned St. Lucia's going to be doing this, at least anytime soon. And with the visa-free access being pretty much irrelevant, like I said, for me personally, why should I rush and get another second citizenship or a residence? This video might make you think like, oh, so I'm happy just being Saint Lucian and just having a Saint Lucian passport, no other residence, no other citizenships, and that's good enough. Well, this isn't really the case. I still do plan to do the Turkish citizenship by investment program eventually. I still also plan to get a residence, or at least 1 or 2 residences or long-term visa situations set up, most likely in Asia. Like I still am going to be doing these things, but it's not a rush for me. You have to understand that. Like it's not, unless you actually have a reason to rush it, you don't need to rush a lot of these things. It really depends on your life setup, your goals, and your living circumstances. It's just at this moment, it doesn't really make sense for me to travel to like Latin America to establish one of these easy residencies like in Paraguay or Costa Rica or Mexico, because like what a lot of people don't get is you have to actually go there. For most of these programs, you have to go there for a few days per year, sometimes 5-6 days per year, to do a lot of bureaucracy and paperwork. And when I'm trying to live in Asia and do other things, do I really want to take a 15-hour flight over to like Uruguay or Paraguay or Costa Rica or something? Maybe it's 10-12 hours there. Do I really want to take that flight over there, spend a week just doing bureaucracy, then fly back? Like, no, I don't really want to do that. I would rather just cough up some money to handle the situation later in the future if I really do become concerned and want another citizenship or whatever it might be. Like, it would be worth it if I didn't already have a good citizenship or if I wanted to take vacations over there. But I don't really want to do that. I kind of just want to stay in Asia, set up a few home bases over here, and just really take vacations over here. Like, I want to go to Japan and Korea sometime. I still would like to visit more places in India. Of course, go hiking again in Nepal. Like, I don't really have much of an interest in going to South America right now. So, yeah, why not hold off on doing any program over there for now? Just why complicate my life when I don't need to right now? Okay, so to be clear, my plan in like the next few years is just I'll be living in Asia. I'll be establishing most likely a business here in Thailand to get a long-term visa here. Not 100% sure what that will be, or if I will go through one of the other programs they have here. Then I'll probably set up another home base somewhere nearby. Potentially the Philippines has a very good program, the SIRV program. I just released a video on that, I believe. You can probably check it out like over here or something. But maybe I'll go through that program. I'll be visiting the Philippines relatively soon and checking it out. And if I like it, I'll probably set up a home base there and one in Thailand eventually. And really sort that situation out, get a good lifestyle going over here, vacation in Asia. I want to visit like Korea, Japan, more place in India. Of course, go hiking in Nepal some more. Yeah, all of the things. And then probably in a few years, if the Turkish CBI program is still going on, I'd visit Turkey again and go through the program if it's still the $400,000 requirement. If they raise it to $500,000, $600,000, I'll probably still do it in a few years. But just, it's not really a concern of mine to actually do it right now. I have other priorities, and I'm not really concerned with the Saint Lucian government, as I've said, and I'm not really too concerned about not having a plan B in terms of citizenships. So yeah, that's more or less my plan from here. Okay, so that's really all for this video. I posted this video and I made this video just to clear up some questions, yeah, but also to kind of give you a different perspective on second residences and citizenships. Too often in this industry, people are always trying to shill, like, just try to get you to get as many residences and citizenships as they can sell you or market to you. The truth is, you don't really need that many. You don't need to collect them like the Pokemon cards or something like this. You don't need to collect passports. Like, you don't need residences unless you actually plan and like it's part of your lifestyle setup or a true plan B just to like de-stress your life. Then you don't really need to concern yourself with it all that much. Like, it's not a game to collect second citizenships and residences. Unless it's truly good for your situation, your lifestyle, your life setup, then you shouldn't waste your time pursuing it. So, if you have only a Western passport from an Anglo country specifically, or anywhere in the EU really as well, then okay, yeah, really probably focus on getting a second residence that leads to citizenship, or get a second citizenship right away. It's quite important, I think. But otherwise, like, unless you're just from a country with really, really bad visa-free access, don't worry about it so much. If you have like a Caribbean passport, you already did one of these programs, it's not a big rush. Unless it stresses you out, like, you don't really need to be afraid that you only have a Caribbean passport, in my opinion. Like, it really depends on your lifestyle is what I'm trying to say. If it's a good decision for you, do it, of course, but you don't need to just do it, just because you can and just because it's cheap to. So really what I'm trying to say is you need to make yourself a good plan. You need to really think critically about your life situation, what you plan for your life, the next few years, maybe the next 10 years even. What you think it will look like at least, and then plan for that. Like, it doesn't help you to get second residences that lead to citizenships and get all these citizenships that don't even complement each other. Like, that's why I always plan the Saint Lucian passport with the Turkish passport because they complement each other quite well in terms of visa-free access and general geopolitical risk. But if I went and got myself a Costa Rican passport or Mexican passport as well as say the Paraguay passport, most of the visa-free access is going to be the same. Most of the geopolitical risk will be at least relatively similar in comparison to Turkey versus Saint Lucia. And it's a plan B. It is a second residence, it is a second citizenship, but it's not as good as getting one that's truly less correlated and truly fills any gaps better, like the Turkish program would for me. So really, before you go through one of these programs, just ask yourself if you really need the extra visa-free access a passport might offer. Are you concerned with the tax situation with the country you have a passport from? Are you concerned with them going after you or causing issues with you? Do you actually need more visa-free access, or do you not even need to apply for visas where you normally go? Is it worth complicating your life just to have an extra plan B? Or does it not even matter for the lifestyle you want to live and plan to live? Do you want to have to travel to a country and every year just to do some bureaucracy and keep up with your residence permit? Do you want to do this? Because that's what a lot of the programs require. Do you want to go through the hassle of it? To me, I'd rather just make a little extra money and pay for a problem to go away if a problem comes up. I'd rather do a citizenship by investment program than go through 4 or 5 years of bureaucracy in some cases simply to get the citizenship. I'd rather just fork over some money, invest in the country, and just be fast-tracked through it all. So I'd say really consider these things. That's really all for this video. So yeah, with that being said, I guess, bye-bye.